Good morning and welcome to Wyong on the sparkling New South Wales Central Coast, and it's very good to have you here for the grand finals of the Country Rugby League Ladies League Tag Championships for 2019, and we have a very special event first up. It's the first ever Under-16’s Championship grand final. The referees are out on the field and the two teams are about to make their way out as well, and you'll see to the left of your screen the Greater Northern Tigers getting themselves out onto the field to a bit of acclaim from the Joe Bishop stand over on the far side. And I'll read the team out. It is as follows. Number 1, Kazia McLaren. Number 2, Emily Watts. 3, Ruby Bennett. 4, Tashari Lee Morgan. 5, Lara Headley. 6, Jules Kirkpatrick. 7, Matilda Jones. 9, Toby Stewart. 11, Casey Gore-Kroger. 12, Chloe DeGunst. 13, Tyler Brown. 14, Heidi Richards. 15, Mackenzie Blackadder. 16, Caitlin Warren. And 20, Emile Griffiths. And the coach is Catherine McCulloch. They're out on the field, as you can see, in the black and gold, coming from the Greater Northern region, covering plenty of territory to get here today. Meanwhile, and they're waving to the camera as well, which is always a good look on this sort of day. Being streamed online as the Greater Southern Region stars are making their way out now, and they are as follows. Number 1, Macy Lee. 2, Kiara Bolts. 3, Sophie Rodwell. 5, Neve Ferguson. 6, Lily O'Day. 7, Bindi O'Hara. 8, Macy McPherson. 10, Taylor Affleck. 11, Mackenzie Lear. 12, Riley Jansen. And 13, Jordan Affleck. 14, Lily Rogan. 15, Lily Eggleton. 16, Tatum Yo. And 17, Claudia Bush. Our referee out there is Tim Walwell, and touch judges Tom Lidbury and Jackson Rye. And we've got Craig from the Greater Northern Region. Morning, Craig. They're good. What are you expecting this morning?
Yeah, nice fast game. Beautiful, bit different for the girls from the Greater Northern Region last week. The games played up at the Glen Innes Minor League Park. Obviously, we're in the midst of a drought, so they're a little bit different. The girls got quite excited when they saw how green the field was here when we came in, so should be some good footy.
I reckon you're right. It's looking fantastic, this ground, I must say. Maury Breen Oval at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday in July. The referee has his hand in the air, the ball is on the tee, and we are away in the Under-16's grand final, the first ever in the Country Rugby League, and it's Riley Jansen who's tagged on the 30-metre line there with the first run of the morning. The Greater Southern Stars, they had a path to get to the final. They beat Monaro 20-0 in the first game last week at Yass. Then they beat Riverina 10 points to 8 and beat the Western Rams 8-0 in the third game. So they covered plenty of territory to get into this grand final. They went through undefeated, and they've got the ball now on about halfway. Goes across there to Macy Lee, who's tagged on halfway. The Greater Southern Stars in the pink and white, running from right to left on your laptop or iPad or phone, or wherever you're watching us on Bar TV. And this is the Greater Northern Region with their first use of the ball. That's Tyler Brown. Now, Craig, who should we be looking out for from this Greater Northern Region side?
Oh, there's plenty of excitement machines in the Greater Northern side. You've got young Matilda Jones, Caitlin Warren from Singleton, Jules Kirkpatrick from Singleton. There's pace all over the ground there, so exciting.
Well, they've got their first use of the ball here, and that's the 6, Jules Kirkpatrick, tagged about 35 metres out, as you can see, and they're going to swing it left early, and I like the look of this, but the ball's gone down over there. I think the referee will say knock on. It just looked for a second like it might be opening up, but the Stars will get the ball back in the attacking half of the field. Greater Northern Region to get to this game. They beat the Northern Rivers Titans 36-4, they beat the North Coast Bulldogs 32-4, and they beat the Central Coast Roosters 30 points to 4 in the final of their 3 games to get through here. Also undefeated, and plenty of attack, as you say, Craig, using the ball. As there's a tag over there just inside the left-hand touchline. It was Sophie Rodwell who took it forward. This is Eggleton. And they'll swing to the right with Lee, and still Lee. Tried to wiggle away through there, but was tagged. They'll go to the right. They'll keep going that way. It's Jansen with the kick. That's going to pitch in the in goal. It might be awkward there. And Brown goes back and gets it and does really well to get out of the in goal. But Greater Northern Region penned in the corner here. Do let us know if you're watching the game, especially if you're up in the Greater Northern area, or if you're down on the South Coast watching from the home area of one of these teams. Let us know where you're watching and who you're barracking for. on the Bar TV Facebook page and on YouTube, of course. As that's Brown again, who's had plenty of touches in this game already. And they'll try and work it to the left again. Who do you reckon's had the best of it early, Craig?
Yeah, they've tried to shift the ball early, Greater Northern, which was their plan there, practice, and just a little bit of luck, a couple of execution on the last pass. There's obviously a bit of room there, so...
Now there's a chance opening up on the left. That's a good tag over there on Macy Lee, because she'd worked her way to the 40. This is 25 minutes either side, we should say, so things have got to happen quickly. It'll be all over before you know it. This is O'Hara and O'Day. And O'Day weaving her way through. Swing to the right. O'Hara again. She's tagged well over there. Eggleton deputises. Over to O'Day. Back across to Lear. And she's going to be held. They'll have to go back. She was tagged early. Going to have to go back and play the ball. They're in a good attacking position here. They'll work it to the right. Jansen puts it on the boot again. She seems to be the kicker. This one looks like it might trickle over the dead-end goal line. So Greater Northern will get away with this, and they'll be able to advance out to the 20. And I think that'll be fairly welcome because they've been a little bit pinned in their own half.
Yeah, certainly defended very well there. A bit of pressure put on by the Southern girls, and they shifted the ball around early there. So exciting times. Bit of attack coming up here.
Yeah, that was Jones. You mentioned her as one of the players to keep an eye on, Matilda Jones. Now down the short side, and that's a good ball, but it's been called forward over there. It was a bit of enterprise down the right fringe, but it ends with the Stars getting the ball back. This Greater Southern Region team, oh, there's a knock-on in there. They'll have to bring that back. So, Greater Northern Region, well, Rugby League takes with one hand, gives with the other. They're going to get the ball back, start again. This game, of course, is slightly different to touch football, slightly different to rugby league. Here's a chance. They're going to run away. That's an important tag there on Kiara Bolts because she was setting off for the prize. It's 11 aside. It's basically rugby league rules, but with the tags instead of contact. So it's a little bit different to touch football, for example. And there's another penalty. A bit too much force in the tagging motion, I think, there.
Jules Kirkpatrick, a little bit keen there.
Well, that's understandable. It is a grand final. Here's Lear. And she's going to weave her way through there, Lear. She wasn't far away in the end. That's the 20 you can see on your screen. Good position. The marker jumped out and got Eggleton there. Very keen marker defence from Kirkpatrick. She's tried that on a few times. That ball was passed before it was tagged. Now there's a chance over there for Bolts. She's going to have a crack at the corner. Kiara Bolts. And with good speed, she gets over. And the Greater Southern Region Stars have the first try in the 16's grand final.
Great bit of catch pass down that short side there, pushing up. Well done. Great try first up.
Was indeed. They used the ball well. Didn't have a lot of time. And they've been pressing and pressing. They've had all the field position and they get the first points.
Yeah, a few mistakes in there, but you say they've been down this end of the field and they've come up with the chocolates in the right-hand corner there.
This is this Greater Southern Region side's a bit of a mishmash of a couple of regions from the CRL. It's got the GSR Tigers club, which takes in some of the outskirts of Sydney. So you've got clubs like Camden and Campbelltown represented, but also takes in the South Coast. So you've also got Collegians and Ulladulla and Thirroul and those sort of clubs involved. And it's been a success. They're in both grand finals. And here's a kick to send the lead out to 6. A pretty tough ask, you'd have to say. Wasn't a bad strike, but it's going to fall short, so Greater Northern Region not punished too heavily. Now, what was the journey for these Tigers players today? When did they come down? It's a bit of a trip, I would have thought. Some of those players have come from Glen Innes and Scone and all those sort of places. Merriwar. When did they come down? Yesterday, I suppose.
Yes, a bit of a bus trip down yesterday with the Glen Innes and Inverell girls came to Armidale, then bus down to, obviously stopped off in Tamworth, then down to Scone first up to pick up, then on to Muswellbrook, and then last pick up and train at Singleton and stayed here in Central Coast overnight. So
there you go. It's always a good marker of how much people have to dedicate themselves to participate in these CRL tournaments. You know, You've got this multi-stop bus journey to get down here. This is a run, and a really good one from Bindi O'Hara. She went through a couple of attempted tags. She's still going. She's made her way well inside the greater northern half of the field. And now Affleck working it the other way. This is the other Affleck. That's Taylor. We've got Jordan in 13 and Taylor in 10. They'll work back to the left. That was a tag. It's going to be a penalty. Got them for offside, did referee Wawel. So another good chance here. They could jump out to a lead early on. We have 17 minutes left in the first half. And that's O'Day, not far away. Affleck. And that's Eggleton. They'll swing it left. O'Hara. Not far away. Can they find a way through? They'll work it to the left. There's a chance over there for Rodwell. She's going to be dragged down. They're running out of tackles here a little bit. And they're running out of them even quicker now because Jansen's been tackled. This is the last. Rogan. It's off legs. This is dangerous. It's still there. It's play on for Eggleton. And they're going to get 6 more tackles here, the Stars.
On the right if they can move it.
That's exactly what they've tried to do. They've tried to weave their way through with Affleck. They'll work to the right again. O'Day. And that was Bolts again. She didn't get through. She set her sights on the line. Couldn't quite find her way through. Back to Eggleton, who's been busy. And they'll swing all the way back to the left now, you'd have to think, with O'Hara. And Rogan. And still Rogan. This is a good probing set from the Stars. They go left. Jansen. That might have too much on it. That's a let-off.
It's a bit of pressure off, isn't it? A bit of a chance to regroup for the Greater Northern girls and get themselves composed and come up and see what they can throw at the Greater Southern.
Exactly right. They've been under all the pressure so far, have the Greater Northern region. They're having to absorb it. 15 minutes left in the half. That's a really good ball. And for just a moment, Tyler Brown might have thought she was away. Inside ball, and they're off on another run. There is a certain art to this tagging. You've got to kind of turn yourself 45 degrees to the line and that sort of thing to make sure they can't get at you. So it's a different type of running style to contact rugby league. But it's its own craft, as here's Watts. They'll work back the short side. That was good play. That's Headley taken over there. But that's only, that red line's the 40, the defensive 40. So they're not quite making too much ground, as there's Emily Watts again. They go back to the left for a kick. There was a bit of second guessing there. Finally it will come in. And this is an awkward one. It could pitch either way. In the end it goes safely to Rodwell, who takes it very comfortably. But that was awkward there for a second.
Yeah, good chase by Headley to be on the spot. Otherwise it could have gone even the other way for seeing Greater Southern down the other end. Was plenty of space in front of them.
You've got to be fairly fit to play this game. The ball seems to be always in play, doesn't it? It's quick turnovers when the other team gets the ball. You don't have long smokos for a scrum or anything like that. So you've got to be fit. As here's Bolts off down the touchline again. She's walked into touch. The flag's up. I think the referee's going to turn the ball over.
They're making plenty of yards on that right-hand side, well, don't they? Seem to be the Greater Southern girls. They seem to number up a little bit better the Greater Northern. Have a look, eyes up a little bit more, but Greater Southern taking full advantage down that right-hand side on several occasions. Yep,
they've seen something they like. And with Kiara Bolts' pace that she's demonstrated already, it's not hard to understand why. That's Jones, and that's a penalty, and this is a chance here for Greater Northern. This is a real chance.
Could be the first time, will be the first time they're down this end of the field for the afternoon.
Yep. Absolutely right. They're going to tap and go rather than take the punt on the touch finder. Warren thought she was tagged and then was. And now McLaren. And Headley. Stewart. McLaren. And Warren found another player there in Jones. Now they're spreading it. That was good play from Warren again. The ball over the top's taken really well by Brown. This is very good football. She's tagged 10 metres out. Tyler Brown. Oh, she might have thought she was away. But wasn't it good use of the ball?
Yeah, good use of the footy and a great tag. Desperate stuff there from Greater Southern.
Good quality football as they come across this way to Stewart. And they can work it to the right here. This is McLaren. Still McLaren. Now Watts. They're in it. A chance in the corner. It was taken over there by Headley. Watts is at dummy half. They'll spread back to the left with Stewart. It's side to side. It's another good ball. Here they come with the 11. That's Gore Kroger. She's taken on last tackle. And the Greater Northern Region's best set of the match so far. Doesn't amount to too much, but they can keep the pressure on.
Well, that'll give them a little bit of confidence, Morgan, anyway. That'll put... They've been down there. They used the footy well. Mistake there from Greater Southern.
Yeah, they've called it as knocked back, so they'll be able to play on. There was a little drop in there, but she'll go back and play it. That's Lily Rogan. Well, we've just had a get them on side call from the grandstand over there, which is always good to see. There's a chance to work their way up the field here with that flick. Good to see the crowd getting into it early on. Would have thought it's a bit early in the day for that sort of thing. Here's Rodwell. Just foxing them a little bit there and finally being tagged. Now this is McPherson out of dummy half. And O'Hara launches this downfield. Good contact, and this is an awkward bounce. It's taken really well. Taken calmly. I think it was Tyler Brown out there who's been very involved. And I think she's looking for the sideline by the looks. There's a few tired players out there because it's been quite frenetic.
State touch player as well is Tyler Brown from Scone, the Scone Thoroughbreds, famous club in the Hunter Valley region.
Well, we've seen Scone Thoroughbreds juniors do things in grand finals before. Maybe another one today. As here's a chance over there. That's going to be turned over, but she was tagged before that, so they'll go back. So they keep the ball to the Tigers, and they'll spread it across here to Kirkpatrick, to Stewart, in fact, who roosts this into the ground. It's taken really well over there by Watts. She'll be tagged. It's last tackle anyway, and they'll have to turn it over. But again, a bit of enterprise from the Tigers.
Yeah, a little bit better set, a little bit, say, enterprise in play. Shift to the footy, good kick and chase. It's over the Greater Southern girls now, coming back down this left-hand side.
That's Tatum Yo in 16. They're using all... I think there was a knock on there. Yeah, it's Lily O'Day. So, an opportunity again. The field position starting to even up a little bit here.
Unfortunate there, that little mistake. She's been very solid, O'Day. Put in a good performance.
Yes, had a lot of touches. Both the 6 and the 7, O'Day and O'Hara. They come back to the right. This is Headley. Taken. And they'll work back to the left. And that was a good tag there on McLaren. They need to get back into that Stars half of the field. Swing it the other way to Gore Kroger. And left they go. Kirkpatrick, and they found a ball through. She'll have to go back there. Heidi Richards. She's scored a few tries in this competition. She's got 4 so far, as has Tyler Brown. So they're probably the strike weapons as this ball goes into the air. Watts is coming through again. Watts thought she had a play on it, and she was right. But Yo snatched it away at the last second.
Tagged by Warren there.
And there's a run by McPherson. 9 minutes left in the first half. This grand final is disappearing very quickly already here this morning. Pleasure to be with you on Bar TV. There was a hint of a knock on there, but Ferguson plays on. And they get a penalty here, Greater Southern. This is a chance.
Yeah, good opportunity here for Greater Southern. They've got Greater Northern on the back foot a little bit here if they can make their way downfield off this set.
Well, they've had a bit of pressure come back their way. It hasn't found touch. Well, what a chance squandered by Greater Southern. And now Ruby Bennett charging back at them. Look at the pace.
The Singleton Greyhound flyer there, Ruby Bennett, renowned for her pace.
Yeah, she showed a fair bit there. Now Caitlin Warren. That could be a big moment in the game, you'd have to say. They could have been right on the attack there, Greater Southern. As here's a big run. This is how things can change. Kirkpatrick finds a good ball. I reckon that's Tyler Brown. Oh, she's got to go back. She's got to go back for the tag. Well, she was off for the prize. Was Tyler Brown. But the touchy, I think, has flagged it. She'll have to go back and play the ball. It was good play. It was Kirkpatrick starting something down that left edge, down a short side. Well, we're having some moments in this game. That's good hands in the middle of the park there. I think it was, might have been Headley. Now they work right. And Bennett, who started all of this by retrieving that kick for touch. Warren, flat to Watts. There was a tag in the air. They play on. Now here's a chance for Headley. She'll arc the ball over. It's still play on. Now they'll keep it going to the left. It's still a chance in the corner. Brown finds Kirkpatrick back on the inside. Razzle dazzle from the Greater Northern Region. He's going to have a chat to the touch judge.
We're going upstairs to the...
We might need the bunker. The touchy hasn't moved. I think he's going to call a forward pass, Craig. Oh, he has. He's called a forward pass. Well, they thought they'd scored twice in a minute there, the Greater Northern Region. Twice they were across the line. Twice they've got to come back. And the Greater Southern Stars are surviving by their fingernails here.
Yeah, no, a very, very great bit of enterprising footy played there by the girls there. Combination standing out there, Brown and Kirkpatrick down that side there. So,
well, a few moments in this game. Keep in mind, Greater Southern had a kick for touch on their halfway line. Could have put themselves on the attack. They didn't find touch. That ball's going to go into touch. Greater Northern are going to get it back. But twice in a minute, they thought they'd broken them. There is still time, though. They've got 6 minutes left in this half and then another 25 after that. O'Hara. They do. There's Rogan. And this time there's another penalty. So in the end, after all that, we're back where we started.
Yeah, back in a good position again for the Greater Southern girls to tap and go and look to exploit that right-hand side again here the way they're going.
Eggleton played dummy half there. Found Claudia Bush. Now here's Affleck. They'll go back across here to O'Hara. And they're in the shadow of the posts, 20 out. It's a good position to attack. Rogan. That might be knocked on. They might have got away with this. They have. So the Tigers won't suffer there. And they'll be able to come away with the ball.
Dodged a bullet there, with just under 5 minutes to go, so see what this set will bring for the girls.
Away they come. Off their own line. Working the ball up the middle. That's the 9, Toby Stewart, who's been busy so far today. They'll work over to the right-hand side. And back in field they come. That was Kirkpatrick. Been one of their best today for the Greater Northern Region so far. And this is hoisted into the air. And the bounce is appalling. It goes back the other way. And Yo, in the end, is able to field it. There's a bit of a collision out there. I heard we had a bit of argy-bargy at Yass last week. Tensions boiled over, which I don't think is typical for league tack.
Might have been the weather. Might have been a bit cold, maybe.
I think that's right. Off they go down the right-hand side. It does tend to aggravate the senses a little bit when it's that cold, as it would have been last week. They come across here to O'Hara. And now McPherson. And McPherson will have to go back and play it. That's the 30. O'Hara again. O'Day. And now the kick's put through by Eggleton. This is another awkward one. It's taken well over there, though. It was the 14 on the field, Heidi Richards. And they work down that short side. Got plenty of people watching on Facebook, watching on Bar TV, or on the Country Rugby League website, or the Country Rugby League Facebook page. Plenty of support for the Greater Northern Region. Let us know where you're watching. Here's a good opportunity for the Greater Northern Region. Charging down the right-hand side they go. It's a proper foot race, and it's going to be a tag over there on Ruby Bennett, but she'll have to come back and play it quickly. They've got numbers this way if they can spread it. They go up the middle with Brown. Now Watts. And now Stewart, and still Stewart. She thought she saw a gap there for a second. They'll go left. McLaren. Here's a chance. Kirkpatrick. Good chance for Kirkpatrick. Still holding it up. Still going. Kirkpatrick finds a pass and it's dropped in the corner. Well,
I think she might have got there herself, but anyway.
I reckon you might be right. She'd thrown about 15 dummies and found a way to about 3 metres out. Unselfishly threw the pass. And it was spilled about a yard out. Wow.
Just under 2 minutes to go, Morgan.
That's right. Couple of moments here for Greater Northern Region. Now they're spreading it the Stars from their own half and from their own quarter, in fact. And working down the short side, there's going to be... What's happened here? They're going to go back. I think one of the players was missing a tag. So she's had it reattached now. And off they go again. This is the first year the league tag has been played on a separate day to the country championships. In the last couple of years it's been part of the big day, which this year was out at Mudgee, but it's a standalone competition now with the under-16s, and there's plenty of encouragement for all the players out there. Now that's a really good roost from Riley Jansen. And Brown's got some work to do here. She charges off down the touchline and is well fielded by Affleck. How long have we got to go here? 57 seconds. See if they can fashion something. It's still 4-0 in this grand final.
The numbers if they can come this side of the field here.
Yeah, they're going to try it on. May as well with a minute to go. That's McLaren. On the left they go. The 20's on the field. That's Amiel Griffiths. Now there's an arcing ball over the top. Touchy's got him again. Touchy's got him again. They thought they were off. And for about the 4th time today, they thought wrong. I think this touch judge is not going to be welcome in Inverell anytime soon. Or Glen Innes, or Tamworth, or Singleton. He might have to give the whole Greater Northern Region a wide berth, I think.
Throw all the upper hunter in.
I think that's right. I think that's right. Now, there's been a knock-on. We've got 6 seconds. So let's see if they want to try one play before half-time. Both sides have played pretty well here, you'd have to say. They will spread the ball. There will be a chance over here. There's a gap opening up. It's going to be tagged. Yes. Chloe DeGun's tagged on halfway and signals half-time. The referee blows his whistle. And that was a very entertaining half of league tag to start the morning here on CRL Grand Final Day. It's the Greater Southern Stars with the lead, 4 points to 0. But both sides will feel they're right in this, you'd have to say, Craig.
Yeah, as you say, Morgan, very entertaining game and plenty of opportunities there at that back end for Greater Northern. Just not quite able to capitalise. Full credit to the Greater Southern girls. They've taken advantage down that right-hand side and looked sharp in attack all the time there whenever they've hit there.
Well, we'll be back in a few minutes. There's a couple of minutes, and we'll be back for the second 25 minutes of this grand final. It's the Greater Southern Region Stars 4, leading the Greater Northern Tigers 0 at the break. Welcome back to Wyong. Morgan Campbell and Craig McLeod with you at Morriebreen Oval, and we're about to witness the second half of the first ever Under-16's CRL Ladies League Tag Grand Final. We saw a good entertaining half before the break. The Greater Southern region with the lead, but only just barely. It's Kiara Boltz's try that separates the teams. Greater Northern region denied a couple of times over on that left-hand side. They've shown plenty. They're not too far away. Craig, what do you think? Who's got to do what to win this game in the second half?
Yeah, if they can hang on to the ball, the Greater Northern Tigers, and a little bit nervous early in that first half, so they might make a little bit of a difference if they can relax a little bit and play some footy.
So a wonderful scene at half-time. The Greater Northern players were huddled out the back of the grandstand here under a tree, recuperating from the first half and getting some instructions. And the coach and the trainer, there's a turnover there. This is a good chance. This is Rodwell with the ball. Greater Southern region can come forward with Lear. The Tigers trainer was saying to them, girls, you're there. You've been denied a couple of times. You've got everything it takes. Just keep working hard, keep pushing, and it'll turn your way. But it's turned against them here with Affleck. They'll go right. O'Hara. Still O'Hara. Taken. They'll come back to the left. Affleck looped around. She thought she was through for a second and has to go back. Eggleton. Affleck. Thought she was there for a second again. Now across they go. That kicks off legs. It might be picked up there. And it's going to be a penalty in the end for offside. So they can start their set again. The Stars. The Stars in the pink and white and blue. Running from left to right wherever you're watching. That's the quick taps taken by O'Hara. The Greater Northern Tigers, as you'd expect, in the black and gold. Now, this is all just slowed up a little bit here. They're going to have to take the tap again. And it's O'Hara. She's not too far away. This is a chance. This would be a bit of a dagger, I must say. O'Day. Now they're over on the right-hand side with Affleck. Plenty of tackles in hand. Dummy half scoot. Tagged. Thought she was there. That was nearly a grand final double for Kiara Boltz. Come left. O'Day. This is Eggleton. You feel like Greater Northern might need to survive this. O'Hara. Still O'Hara. There was a bit of a collision there in the end. That'll be another penalty, but it's going to go the other way. Well, that's a moment in the game. The referee saying that it was O'Hara who initiated that contact. So Greater Northern can come out.
Certainly needed that. Relieves a bit of pressure after a couple of early mistakes from the Tiger girls. So hopefully they can get a good set here.
They've started it well with Jones. That's Watts. Back the other way they come. There's a bit of work around the ruck being done here by the Tigers, and that's Brown. They go left. And that's a good-looking run. It was Jones again. Now they're going to use the expanse of the field. And the kick from Jones is going to pitch. It could bounce either way. It bounces really sweetly for Sophie Rodwell there. She would have been anxious as it headed towards the ground. But she's able to get up and play the ball. And they've got they've started over on that left-hand side now. And forward they come, straight up the middle. That's Eggleton, who's been busy. Now they get a penalty. And there's a bit of back chat. So the referee, he's obviously copped a bit from one of the Greater Northern players, took exception and marched them 10 metres. And so Jansen takes the tap and gets within 25 metres. Now there's another penalty, this time the other way. I think he's got him for initiating contact again.
Yep, same result as before down there. So they need to really get a decent set this time and get a clearing kick in the Greater Northern girls.
Yeah, field position hurting them at the moment. They need to get back into the other territory. They're trying to work. They seem to be really deliberately cutting back across the ruck like that. They've got them for a forward pass. Well, they're not helping themselves just at the moment, the Tigers. And there's a bit of competitiveness coming into the game. O'Hara. Lear.
Solid game, Lear. She's been very busy, hasn't she?
Indeed. Has been busy. This is O'Hara. And that was nice play. It's O'Hara again. She passed after tag there, I think, did Jordan Affleck. She'll have to go back. O'Hara. Centering the ball. Still a couple of tackles in hand here. That's Lear again. Over on the left. Affleck got into dummy half. There was a problem. I think they're a little bit unlucky there, the Tigers, because the ball was played to no one in particular. Yeah, it was sitting there, and it's very hard as a marker to not dive around and try and get it. But it's Lear to come again. They've had a lot of tackles. They've had a lot of tackles on the Greater Northern line. If they can survive, it'll lift them. But it's an if. They go to the right. Here's Affleck. It's touched down there. It'll be 6 to go. It'll be turned over. The Stars will get it back. They are just surviving at the moment, the Tigers, Craig.
The Tigers, yeah. They're ready to deliver the killer blow, the Greater Southern region.
They're through. That might be it. It's Eggleton. She scored. And they'll go to an 8-0 lead. They've been toiling and chipping away. And the Greater Northern region have just given away too many tackles on their own line. It's Lily Eggleton who gets it. And with 20 minutes left in the grand final, it's 8-0 to the Greater Southern Stars.
Yeah, a lot of continuous play there and hard work and pushing up, and they're rewarded with a try there. So well done to Eggleton.
Now this looks like an important kick, you'd have to say. It's Jansen. And if she could get that lead out to 10, then if Greater Northern were to stage a recovery, it'd put a bit of pressure on the goal kicker. So this is an opportunity. She's got a pretty good boot from what we've seen so far. She's thumped a few in general play. Let's see what she can do. Obviously taking her time about it. Four steps back, 3 to the left, and away we go. Jansen. It's away to the left. She's hooked it. It wasn't a great connection. And so the Tigers are still within 2 tries. It's 8-0. And it's been Kiara Bolts and Lily Eggleton who've got the tries. And the Tigers, the only good thing about that is they'll finally get the ball into the Southern Stars side of the field. It's been all one way. I'm starting to get neck cramps from looking right for the last 10 minutes, Craig.
Yeah, no, a few mistakes from the Tigers girls, put themselves under pressure, but I'm sure they'll come up and compose and make up for it on this set.
Yeah, well, they've shown plenty of signs. They've played some really good football. Off goes the kickoff. We are away again. And that's fumbled back there. I think she got away with it, did Lily O'Day? She did. She did get away with it. And the Stars can start again. There's lots of people on Facebook saying, come on the Tigers, plenty of time left. Had plenty of good moments in the game. There's plenty of encouragement. Looks, sounds like we've got quite a few viewers up north. And that's Lear. Back to the centre they come. Neither of these sides have been beaten so far this year. Affleck tries to get through. Can't quite. Down the short side they go with O'Day. This is last. They do indeed have numbers. It's an awkward looking kick by Affleck, but it's turned out okay because Stewart's got to go a long way back to field it. Bolts did her best at marker. That was a really good effort. And Brown just evaded her. There's a really high level of fitness out there with these teams. The ball is constantly in play. And they just keep turning up. Now through they go. This might be a chance. It's Jones. She's got Kirkpatrick back on the inside. Kirkpatrick might look for Jones again. She's tagged 20 out. They'll swing it. Stewart. Still Stewart. Taking metres off them. This is last. The grubber is not a bad one. Jones, it's trickling. It needs to stop. It's not going to.
Yeah, needed to sit up there, didn't they, the girls? But that's a little bit more enterprising. I'm sure they'll take some confidence out of that, the Greater Northern Tigers girls.
That was good play. They have shown all day that they can create opportunities for themselves. They've made a lot of line breaks. Just haven't quite been able to get one to stick to get over the line. That was really fizzed by O'Day, and it's a knock-on by Affleck, and this is another really good chance for the Tigers. 30 metres out, a full set of 6. This could be their moment, Craig.
Big opportunity here. They look to go down this left-hand side. Emile Griffiths from Inverell taking the tag there. Very popular league tag up in that Group 19 region.
Here they come. Stewart's at dummy half. Jones first receiver. Back on the inside to Brown. That was good football. And Brown's taken 20 out. They come to the right. Headley. And Jones. And still Jones. That was knocked down, I think. It'll be a knock-on. They'll get this back. It's 6 again for the Tigers. So this will all start again inside the 20. They won't get a better chance in the game. With 14 minutes left. Can they find their points? Here's Kirkpatrick. Thought she was through. They swing right. It's an arcing ball over there. It was awkward for Bennett. She took it well. Good level of skill in this game. Jones. Headley. Still they work to the left. Jones, who's been busier and busier as the game's gone on. Here's Morgan. And Brown. A couple of tackles in hand here. Jones. Oh, they don't want to let her run. She's caused them a bit of angst. This is last. They need to move it. Kirkpatrick. Still Kirkpatrick. It's off legs. They might score. They haven't. It's a knock-on. Well, for the third time in the day, they were over the line. And for the third time in the day, the referee said, no, not this time.
No, I thought he might have gone upstairs to check that one, Morgan, there. It looked like they might have got a touch to it, the Greater Northern Tigers girls, but as you say, denied again.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a frustrating morning, but they keep trying. They're really persistent, this Tigers side. And why wouldn't they be? They've come from a long way away. Just listen to the list of clubs that have got players in this game. Glen Innes, Scone, Singleton, Inverell, Musselbrook, Armidale and Merriwar. And you were saying earlier, Craig, that it's been quite a journey to get here. They've got support staff here who are all volunteers. Both these sides, of course. It's a real marker that in country rugby league, nothing happens if not for volunteers and dedicated players. Now here's a chance for a run to the left. There's a chance over there for O'Hara. She's dragged down in the end. It was a bit of a collision. They'll go to the left again. Rodwell, still Rodwell. Basketballed it over the top. It's a penalty. It's a penalty for offside. They were a bit too eager, the Tigers. And there is a quarter of the game to go. 12 and a half minutes. So,
for the Greater Southern girls again.
Certainly is. They could almost put it beyond reach here. If they could get another one. Rodwell arcs it over the top. That pass is a long way back. And it's Rogan. Now Claudia Bush. Affleck's passed it to a Tiger. Well, Stewart, I don't know if she called for the ball, but she couldn't have been in a better position. If she had been a Greater Southern player, she'd have been clean through. Now there's another intercept. Well, both sides are being charitable. Sophie Rodwell's going to run away, throw a wonderful ball out to the left, and she's going to get called back for a tag. And the Tigers players won't have much sympathy for that, I wouldn't have thought. Now there's a stoppage here. And the referee is going to have a word to someone. It will be a Southern Stars ball. For a second there, I thought they were going to pack a scrum. That would have been exciting. Now, to the right they come. And they've got plenty on this side of the field. O'Day. O'Day. Still O'Day. Now there's a grubber for herself. That's a wonderful bit of play. I think they're going to award this. That's really clever from Claudia Bush. That is really clever football. The referee points to the spot. Just a little bit of smart. The kick and chase. And she's put it down barely 5 metres from where she kicked it. It is 12-0 with 11 minutes to go. And you'd have to think at this stage, Craig, that the Greater Southern Stars are going to be the first ever Country Rugby League Under-16’s League Tag champions.
Certainly looking that way, but a clever bit of footy there on that short side there for that try there, Morgan. So we'll see what happens. This big kick coming up here. Hopefully the Greater Northern girls can get back in the game.
Well, as a reward for that, she's going to try and convert her own try. This would certainly put them out of range if they could get 14 points clear. But that was a wonderful bit of craft close to the line. A little bit sneaky. She can go back and try and send this over. Doesn't look too bad off the boot, but it's going to fade away. So no goal. So the Tigers need 2 converted tries to get back to level terms. Who have they got to look for here, Craig? They're going to be chasing points now. Who do they need to try and find?
If we can probably look to some early ball to Jones and Bennett around the edges there. Get some early pace. Brown and playing off the ruck area.
Yeah, Matilda Jones has been busier and busier as the game's gone on and started to look really dangerous, so I think they will look for her. Now, that is Tatum Yo, I think, over on the left-hand side. And it's the Southern Stars coming forward with Rogan. They're beautifully placed now. The Tigers need more than a point a minute. Still they go on. This could be another one for Macy Lee. She was stopped at the last opportunity. That's good play. And it's Taylor Affleck who's taken down out there. Plenty of tackles in hand, and they're back where they've spent most of this half, but there's a knock-on from O'Hara. So the Tigers, with time enough, 8 minutes and 20 seconds. If it's going to happen, it's going to have to happen pretty shortly. That's a penalty. A bit too much force. The arm came around there, I think, from Jansen. Won't help them too much, but they'll get at least one extra tackle. And they're into the Stars' half of the field. Jones. Right they come. Kirkpatrick stopping and starting and going through Kirkpatrick. We've seen her in open space a few times. Back to the left they come. Brown. Still Brown. You mentioned her as one to look out for. And she was almost setting sail there. This is Jones. And that's going to be a knock-on, I fear. Yeah. That's a knock.
It's been sort of the order of the day, hasn't it, Morgan? Just when they start to look the goods and get on a bit of a roll, just that last pass has let them down.
Yeah, it's been a little bit that way. They've had forward passes called back when they thought they were in for tries. They've turned it over coming off their own line a few times. And if a couple of those things had stuck, it would be a totally different game. There's been no shortage of talent or effort here from the Tigers. But it just hasn't quite gone their way. And that's a really good example. We have 7 minutes left on Bar TV. Morgan Campbell and Craig McLeod with you in a very pretty Wyong this morning. We've got another game, of course, at 11:25, so no reason to go anywhere. Oh, that's a collision as Macy Lee went tumbling through the line there. It was all accidental. Bit of a tangle, and mercifully she's okay. Now Jansen. Jansen got a ball away. They're off again here. This is Yo. It's still Yo. She dummies again and scores. And they're kicking clear now, the Stars. And they are running from everywhere to celebrate that one. It's 16-0. And they are really starting to get this game by the neck.
Yeah, tremendous footwork there of young Yo down that short side. Yeah, it was pretty to watch, wasn't it? Dapper on the feet, in and out, in and away, and over she goes for the try, young Yo from the Collegians Club.
Yeah, she sliced the way through, and it looked for a second like she'd try and set a teammate up. But I suppose when there's been so many forward passes called back today, there's a fair argument for dummying and going yourself.
Especially with the space there, yeah, off you go.
Yeah, that's right. They're having a very good day. Would have been a long journey to get up here. They would have had to come, especially those players who've come from the south coast. Narellan, Collegians, Milton Ulladulla, Thirroul and Camden, all represented in this side. And it looks like they're going to go back up the freeway. Pretty pleased with themselves. Because there's time's ticking out of the hourglass here. There are 5 minutes left. And they are 16-0 in front.
Difficult kick. She's gone close the last couple. Let's see how she goes with this one. The sideline.
Yeah, awkward position. She's hit that pretty well. That's curling. Will it just dip over the bar? Wasn't far away. The angle was good. But they won't be too vexed about that.
Coming back on for Greater Southern. The interchange there.
Yep. Well, she comes. Tags in hand. Stick the tags back on and away they go. Been a good entertaining game. Both sides have had their chances. And the Southern Stars have just taken a few more. So Gorkroger launches this downfield. It's a good kick-off. And the Stars can come back. And they can go again. This wouldn't be Yo again by any chance, would it? I reckon it might be. Yo down the touchline, finds a good pass. They're off again here, the Stars. There might be a little bit too much pace over there, but Ferguson's tagged at the last second again. They come across this way. Rogan. Now O'Hara. That's a good run. It was Lear. And they'll come across to the right with O'Day and still O'Day. That was crafty work. McPherson saw half a gap. Now O'Day again. This is Bolts. Has already got a try today. Set sail for another one. Not quite. Last tackle. Across they'll come. It's O'Day. It's O'Day. She's going to be taken on the last. But it's a pretty difficult position for the Tigers. If you are going to turn it over, 5 out from your own line, it's not a bad place to do it.
Certainly not a bad spot, is it? They've cranked it up a little gear, the Greater Southern girls, with some sharp footwork in the last few minutes.
Now, here's some sharp footwork. Off they go. It'd be nice to see them get one. Here's Kirkpatrick. She's still going Kirkpatrick. She probably needs to just go herself. She stopped and twisted. Then she found Griffiths. Griffiths found a pass back inside to Richards. And they will finally open it back up to the right on the next play. Here's Stewart. I thought Kirkpatrick might have backed a pace there. It looked like the field was opening up for her. Yeah, she might well have been puffed. As here's Jones. Jones will go through. They deserve that, the Tigers. They've pushed and pushed and pushed. They've worked very hard. They've had some foul luck. But they get a try to celebrate towards the end of this game. And it's one of their better players who's got it, Matilda Jones. She's
been tremendous, Matilda Jones, from the Muswellbrook Club all afternoon. Outstanding player, been good in camp for the coach. So she's worked really hard today and certainly well deserving of that try.
Yep, I think that's absolutely right. She's been very busy indeed. There are still 2 minutes and 10 to go. No shortage of optimism as that kick's gone over. That's the first successful conversion we've seen. Toby Stewart. So they're going out with a bit of a flurry here. So the Stars not rushing at all to get back and kick this off, you'd have to say, with 1:43 on the clock. Absolutely no urgency. They still lead this grand final 16 points to 6. They've had tries from Kiara Bolts. They've had one from Lily Eggleton. They've had one from Claudia Bush and one from Tatum Yo. Whereas for the Tigers, it's Matilda Jones's try and Toby Stewart's goal. That's where your 16 and your 6 come from, with about 100 seconds left. They'll come on with the ball. And Brown almost straight through there. She's had a few moments like that, Tyler Brown. Now they go straight ahead again. We're into the last minute of this grand final, and we've seen two really good teams try their guts out for this this first trophy in the under-16s. And they'll turn it over, so the Great Southern Stars will finish the game with the ball here. And some lucky person will end up with it when they win this grand final, and they'll be able to hoik it into the air in celebration. On they come. That's O'Hara, who's been very good, had a lot of touches. Rogan. Eggleton's a dummy half. O'Hara loops around. Now Lear. They'll work to that left-hand side. They'll come back inside. It's Yo again with that footwork. She's really grown into the game. This is the last play. It's a penalty. And they might not even take it. Because there's the siren. There is the siren. The Greater Southern Region Stars have won the Country Rugby League League Tag Championship, the first ever. They've gone undefeated through the competition, and they can celebrate now because it's all over. Or at least it would be. What's happened here? She's going to go and take... I think there was a problem with the tap. She's going to take it now. She's going to be tagged, and now they can all run onto the field and celebrate. Because now it's confirmed. The Greater Southern Region Stars 16. The Greater Northern Tigers 6. It's the Stars who win it, and look how happy they are. The Tigers will be disappointed, but they couldn't have done much more. They've tried very hard today. They played some good football and didn't have the luck. It's been a really good game between two good teams trying their very best. And Craig, you would have to say on balance that the Stars deserve it.
Oh, they played tremendous footy, didn't they? They pushed up just a little bit quicker than their counterparts today, and are well-deserved champions. Full marks, and congratulations to the Greater Southern Region. Outstanding effort on winning the inaugural Under-16's League Tag Championship.
Yep, absolutely right. They look fairly delighted with it too. They're running over to the coach, Aaron Lucas. He's just had a hug from about 15 players. It's a very happy scene here at Wyong for this GSR Stars side. And the Tigers, they can head back up the Hunter Expressway back towards the northern region. And they're entitled to feel pretty proud of themselves. They tried their very best today. We're going to take a break here on Bar TV. We'll be back at 11:25, so about 25 minutes' time for the second game today, which is the grand final in the open grade Women's League Tag, and it'll be between the Central Coast Roosters and the Greater Southern Region Stars. The Stars looking for a really, really good day, trying to win a second premiership. The Central Coast Roosters trying to win a third title in a row. There's plenty to look forward to still on Bar TV. Thank you very much, Craig. Morgan Campbell signing off for at least 25 minutes' time.
Tim, Tom Lidbury, apologies, and Jackson Wright. As I mentioned, a very big congratulations to the Greater Northern Tigers. I thought the game was played in the right spirit. You were a credit, as I said, and commiseration. So well done. But I'm sure if you keep that enthusiasm, it'll only be a matter of time before you do get some trophies. I now call on the Greater Southern Region and ask Graham to make the presentation to the winners.
Jordan, Yara, Lily, Macy, Lily, Taylor, Cindy, Claudia, Mackenzie, Hayden, Macy, Riley, Nate, and Sophie.
And congratulations to the coaches and support staff. Before I ask Graham to present the shield, we do have a Player of the Match award, and that goes to Greater Southern Region, the captain, number 6, Lily O'Gay. I will move a little bit further and call Lily back to present the shield. And I'm going to ask Lily to say a couple of words.
I'd just like to thank Aaron, our coach, and CRL for organising such a great event, and the Tigers coming along, and just all the staff and parents. Thanks.
There will be a few photo opportunities now for the parents and the media. But as I said, on behalf of the Country Rugby League, thank you to everyone who was involved with the inaugural Under-16’s League Tag Challenge. This competition will grow from strength to strength, and thank you for your support.
Welcome back to Wyong. Morgan Campbell with you for the second part of our two-pronged grand final day here from the Country Rugby League. It's Ladies League Tag Grand Final Day, of course. And we've got the second game, the open grade. We've just seen the Greater Southern Region Stars claim a very good win in the Under-16’s. And they have the opportunity now to double up and win the open grade as well. The all-age grand final. They're already out on the field. I'll take you through their team. Number 1, Alana Glasson. 2, Rebecca Pollard. 3, Brooke Smith. 4, Tyler Finn. 5, Janae Collins. 6, Carly Ryan. 7, Talia Atfield. 8, Lauren Murty. 9, Brittany Constable. 10, Samantha Groth. 11, Chelsea Tout. 12, Keisha Waite. 13, Brodie Grogan. 14, Piper Favell. 15, Catherine Priest. And 11, Chelsea Tout is now 18, Chelsea Tout. The coach is Cheyenne Hatch. And for the Central Coast Roosters, they're about to make their way out, and they are looking for a third premiership in a row in this competition. It's a formidable outfit. They've got 10 of the team that won it last year, turning up again, and they run down the hill from the home sheds now, out onto the field at Moraybreen Oval. It's a home ground advantage for them, and there's plenty of applause coming from that grandstand over there. Their team is as follows. Number 1, Holly Buchanan. 2, Rachel Dobby. 3, Ashley Russell. 4, Alicia Atkins. 5, Rachel Mortell. 6, Stephanie Sharp. 7, Sarah Dimesh. 9, Tia Goodhand. 11, Claudia Symington. 13, Jocelyn Kelleher. 14, Shannon Higgins. 15, Erin Kessler. 16, Tiana Langbridge. 23, Kelsey Clark. 24, Brooke Goodhand. And 25, Matilda Barber. They're coached by Jeff Coronius. To get through to this competition, to get through to this grand final, the Central Coast, they beat the North Coast 28 points to 6 last week. Then they beat the Northern Rivers 30 points to 0. Then they beat the Greater Northern Region Tigers 16 points to 4. Whereas for the Greater Southern Region, they beat Monero 30 to 10. They beat Riverina 24 points to 4. They beat the Western Rams 14 points to 10. And the player to watch out in this match, you'd have to say, is Tyler Finn from the Greater Southern Region. She scored 5 tries in only 3 games and a hat-trick in round 2. Off we go. It's grand final number 2 from the Country Rugby League. Bar TV with you, and Morgan Campbell is my name. And there's a tackle in the very first hit-up of the league tag final. And that sets a good tone, doesn't it? They've decided to dispense with league tag straight away and just start colliding into each other at full pace. So off we go. This is an early opportunity here for the Southern Region Stars. That's Chelsea Tout with the ball in 18. And away they come. That's the 9. That's Constable. They'll work it left. Atfield. Good chance straight away here. And that was Finn. I said she was dangerous. And she looked it straight away there. Constable again. They'll look right. The 10 is Groth, who's got a couple of tries herself this year. Now there's a fired pass by Tout. There's a chance over there, I think, for the 3. That's Brooke Smith. I'll come back to the left. They're using both sides of the field. The kick is not a bad one, but it's taken there by the Roosters. And Alana Glasson gets the first touch for the Central Coast. Coming off their line, they've won the last 2 premierships in this competition. They are a very serious league tag outfit and have established themselves as the best in country New South Wales over the last couple of years. And they work it down the short side and come back to the open. And Glasson will send this into the sky. And it's got a bit on it, that kick. So Buchanan has to go back and get it. So here are the Stars. That was Murty. I think that was knocked on. It was. League tag, of course, differs from touch football in the sense that the rules are pretty much aligned to rugby league. You can kick, all that sort of thing. It's not an automatic turnover if the ball touches the ground, only if it goes forward. So it's a little bit different to touch, and of course it's tags instead of touch. And that's the 24, Brooke Goodhand for the Roosters, coming forward. Now this is Dimesh. They come the short side. That's a really good ball And Atkins thought she was through there. Good hand, working towards the middle. Still good hand. On a breezy kind of morning. A very warm and sunny one in the Central Coast. This is a kick in behind here by Sharp. It's going to hold up. They're going to be forced in goal. She turned them around. And so the Stars will have to boot it out from under their own posts. Bright start by the Roosters. 25 minutes either way, these games. And we've spent 3 minutes so far. So that's good hand bringing it back. That's Brooke good hand. Tia good hands in 9. Brooks in 24. And Brooks still got the ball. Off she goes. Finally dragged away was the tag. Now Sharp. And another penalty. So they're going to get a really sustained period on the Greater Southern line here. Here's Kelleher. And they'll go left. Kessler. Out the back. Really good play. Buchanan loomed for the ball. It went out there to Dobby instead. It looked nice. It came a bit around at the end. And now Dobby will be taken a couple of yards out. Demesh. Still bobbing and weaving. They look sharp, the Roosters. Now they go again. They'll score. It's Kelleher who just weaved back towards the centre. And she gets the first try. It's 4-0 to the Central Coast. And you've got to say, the way they were moving the ball, it looked very sharp and it looked likely that they might score there. They've got the first try. And importantly, it's right in front of the post, so you'd have to be feeling pretty good about the conversion. So within the first 5 minutes, the back-to-back premiers are in front again. And it's Holly Buchanan with the ball on the tee to try and make this a 6-point lead. The coach down on the touchline making a bit of racket, pointing people around as the kick goes over. It's 6 points to 0. The Central Coast have the early lead over the team they beat 2 years ago to win this same tournament.
Converted by Holly Buchanan, the number 1, Central Coast Roosters 6, Greater Southern yet to score.
It's a different setup this year for the Country Rugby League. The women's competition is in 2 parts now. There's the full contact, full tackle competition, which was decided a couple of weeks ago in Mudgee. And then the league tag competition. This is going to go into touch. This is a good result for the Stars. It's going to be a Greater Southern Region ball. As it just pitched and twisted into touch. So a bit of a mistake there by the Roosters. Gives the Southern Stars a chance, and they're off straight away with Finn. Dangerous runner Tyler Finn. Taken 15 out. They'll go to the right. Here's Preece. Preece finds Glasson. Glasson's not far away. They look right. They're looping around. Ryan. Still Ryan. Nice looking ball. She put the ball down, but it won't count. Smith will have to go back and play it. Collins. Ryan. Still Ryan. The ball's on the deck. It's back to Collins. It's back to Ryan. Now Groth. They'll go left. Arcing ball over the top there from Preece. It's not a bad one. It looks good in the corner for Finn. They'll score. The tag's been called, though. They'll have to go back. The touchy was eagle-eyed. Here's a kick. That might be a bit deep, or it might be caught in goal. It is caught in goal really nicely. And the Roosters can come away. They haven't been punished for making a bit of a hash of that kick-off. And so Demesh can find a runner and then get held herself, and they'll go back and play the ball. And Kelleher, the try scorer, barrels into them. It's another collision. It's happening a bit out there at the moment. There's a bit of feeling in it already. That was Clark. And they're making good metres out of dummy half. Straightening up the play. That's another one. Higgins. Groth puts a boot back on. And it's out the back to Buchanan. Just send this flying downfield. It's a bit of an awkward bounce. It's twisting and turning. There's a chance over there for the Roosters. They've got it back. Finally, it's there for Glasson, who ended up doing pretty well under trying circumstances there. Four clubs from the Central Coast make up this Roosters side. There's players from the entrance, Terrigal, Aruna and Wyong involved. And this is last tackle for the Stars. They're going to run it. The kick is reasonably shallow and it's fielded over there. And Janae Collins makes a good run. Oh, sorry, Mortel it is over there. Now Langbridge at dummy half. Finding a runner in Higgins. The ball's turned over. The Stars will get it back here, you would have to think. And Groth can make a run and find a good pass. They might be off here. She's going to have to go back. Oh, it looked it for a moment. Lauren Murty would have been in a race with her opposite number. They'll go to the left. Wait. And now there's Finn. And Finn's absolutely galloping. She's taken. They go right. Ryan. 15 is Priest. It's just a little bit clunky out the back there. There's a few fumbles on that. But Smith got away from a couple. It's still Smith. Finally, she's taken. It just broke down a little bit there for the Stars. Now Priest. Still Priest. Open space. Finds a runner in Murty. Priest will look to go right. She does. It's Atfield who's taken. They had a 2-on-1 there. They'll get a penalty. And Atfield will want to get on with this. And she does. She turns it under to Smith, the right centre, who looked for a moment like she was going to slice through. Collins at dummy half. They come across there to Priest, who's been busy early on. Glasson. Still Glasson. Still Glasson! Couple of metres short. Ryan. That's the 12, which is Waite. The ball's over there to Pollard, who's taken. Still a couple of tackles in hand here. Finn. Murty. And this will be last. Atfield. Kicking back against the grain. Here comes Glasson! Glasson got there! Clever, clever play. Going against the grain. And Alana Glasson knew it was on and did what good fullbacks do. She was backing up on the inside and she falls on the ball. And the Stars score behind the posts and give themselves a chance to level this. It's 6-4 to the Roosters, but there is a kick to come. The Roosters defending well, and in the end it was a little bit of craft needed to beat them. Something a little bit clever now. Atfield with a bit of pressure on this kick, which will even it up. Couldn't be in a better position though. It's there. She hit it well. So, with a quarter of the game gone, 12 and a half minutes left in the first half. It's 6-all here in the grand final. And the early signs are that the Roosters, who've won this the last couple of years, are going to have a bit of a match here. The Stars copped the early try and have responded. And it's the Roosters who have the ball on the tee here. And Holly Buchanan will try and send this as far as possible into that star side of the field. I've got my head out the window to see when the ball goes down into that left-hand corner. And there's the first tag of a new set. That is Collins. And an eager runner there in Priest. They're making their way up the field well here. Collins again. Atfield's going to kick. And she got a fair piece of it too. Buchanan had to go back. Referee says knock back, which is going to be a controversial decision. Now Buchanan counter-attacks. Back inside. Good step. She's been tackled over there by Atfield, who finally tags her. Referee says it wasn't intended. And now it's Dobby. And she's tagged. Symington was dummy half. Sharp was first receiver. Good hand was the runner. And they'll open it up to the right with Demesh. She gets it back on a nice wraparound play. To the right they'll go. Higgins. Back inside. That was knocked down. They'll get 6 to go. It will be a knock on in the end because the Stars got to it first. But they'll get used to the ball again. And it's Symington. That ball's hit the deck. The referee's waiting to blow the whistle. He'll have to do it now. And definitely a knock on in there somewhere. And so the Stars can come forward again. It's a good even contest here on Bar TV. Morgan Campbell with you for this League Tag Grand Final. There's a few collisions happening out there. That's a wonky old pass. That's going to make life difficult. It's going to be a knock on. Well, they can't really afford to do that because the Roosters, when they have got into attacking positions, have looked pretty sharp. That's not Sharp, that's Demesh. Now Sharp. Kelleher. Good ball over the top there to Dobby. Still Dobby down the wing. Still Dobby. She's taken there by Kelleher, by Grogan, and needed to be. Symington. Russell. Working towards the line. Sharp. Fizzes it across. Wraparound play is pleasing. Now the 14 is Higgins. And it's Atkins in the end who ends up with it. They'll go out the back there to Buchanan. Still Buchanan. Dummying and stopped. This is last. And it's been knocked on in the play, the ball. So they won't even get to put a kick in. That was well survived by the Stars. Under pressure, the ball was zipping around quickly, and they dealt with it really well. And it's Murty who brings it away. Inside 10 minutes left in the first half. This grand final, the time is ticking away very quickly. Smith at dummy half. They'll work it. It's a bit sideways and backwards at the moment. Coming out of pressure here for the Stars. And this is last. They haven't advanced too far. That's the 20 they're on. Atfield's got a fair boot, though, and she sends this into orbit. It's going to pitch. It's fallen behind Mortel, but it's taken in the end pretty well. She dealt with it, and then they dealt with Buchanan. Now Demesh in the 7. They'll go up the middle. That's a clever run there by Langbridge. And Sharp. They're winning the territory a little bit at the moment here, the Roosters. Kelleher on last. They go back to the open. And Buchanan sends this soaring downfield. That's a good connection. If this sits up, it'll be awkward. If it rolls, it'll go dead. It's going to do the latter. And the Stars will start their next set where they finished their previous one. So that's Atfield over there, who's been one of the pivots for this Stars side. Now here's a break and a half chance, and in the end there's an appeal to the referee, and it's an appeal that's upheld. The suggestion of a bit of grabsy, which is not allowed in the league tag. You've got to grab the tag, you can't grab the player. So the Stars with a bit of position, a bit of territory here with weight. Groth, still Groth, who's been lively. Touts at dummy half. Named in the 11, playing in the 18. Priest, arcing ball over the top is really awkward for the winger, who knocks it on. Fairly understandably, you'd have to say it pitched right in front of her knees. So off they go with Sharp, who goes on a weaving run. It's the Roosters with the ball again here, and that's just held. And Kessler's taken. They'll work left again. It's still play on here, and that's the 24, Brooke Goodhand. There's a lot of chopping and changing here in these teams. There's players coming on and off all the time. Whoa, there's a collision, dear oh dear. That will be a penalty. Erin Kessler slamming into Samantha Groth. That would have been a big hit last night at McDonald Jones Stadium. So they go to the left. Good hand. Russell. Demesh. And they'll come right. That's good play. There was a bit of a contact there. They're stepping and weaving. The tag is eventually taken. Atkins ran into the fullback. Now they go right. Sharp's favourite here. Grubbers for herself. Gets it back and scores. Well, there was a feeling she might score there. That's not quite what I was expecting. But it was very shrewd play, and Stephanie Sharp gets the third try of the morning. And the second for the Roosters. It's 10-6 with a kick to come. Both sides getting opportunities at the line here. But the Roosters have taken one at a good time. And as they make a couple of interchanges, they're looking fairly pleased with themselves at this stage. Here's the kick. Should be Holly Buchanan standing over this. This is a difficult one. It's barely 5 metres in from touch. On the wrong side for the right footer. She's hit it nicely though. That doesn't look too bad. You know, the flags are going to the sky. Goodness me, what a kick. Holly Buchanan. We only saw one conversion in the whole Under-16’s game. But the kicking so far in this one has been immaculate. 12-6, the Roosters have their lead back.
Stephanie Sharp, converted by Holly Buchanan, the number 1, Central Coast Roosters 12.
I can just see out the window the Greater Southern Region 16's team sitting down on the hill there watching their older comrades go around. Or at least some of them are watching, but they've all got the medals around their neck and looking pretty happy. So at least one of them will be having a happy trip back up the freeway, back towards the south coast and Western Sydney. The Open's still with plenty to do, as there's another big bit of contact there up the middle. The difficulty for the referee here is sort of determining who was responsible for the contact. On that occasion, he's pinged Carly Ryan for throwing the arms around Kelleher. But the Roosters are running really hard, and there's another one. Dear, oh dear, this one might go the other way. Yeah. That was Goodhand. It was Clark, in fact. Absolutely slammed into that contact. It does rather defeat the purpose of league tag, as here's a chance for Groth. Still going. Finally taken. They're 20, 30 metres away. Ryan out of dummy half finds a good ball to Glasson. Already got a try today. Glasson nearly had another one. There's still a distance to go. Tout. Still Tout. They're going a bit sideways here. That's a good ball to the wing. They might score in the corner. Oh, wonderful play. I think it's Piper Favell who scored in the corner. It was a fizzing pass out to that wing. And she showed plenty of pace to tiptoe down the touchline and plant the ball in the corner. Good wing play, good halves play. It's 12-10, and this game can't work itself out just yet. And we've still got 90 seconds of the first half and another 25 after the break. The Stars won't go away. So Alana Glasson has a try, and now so too does Piper Favell. To go with the tries from Jocelyn Kelleher and Stephanie Sharp for the Central Coast Roosters. And now this is Taylor Atfield trying to level the scores. From touch. Hits it. Doesn't look too bad off the boot. It's going to just drop to the left and out the back. So it's goal kicking the difference here. And that's the only difference. It's 12 points to 10. With 45 seconds left of the first half. We're seeing a good contest here on Bar TV. Let us know where you're watching. If you're watching on Facebook, chuck a comment on the bottom of the thing, the bottom of the video. Let us know where you're tuning in. A lot of people on there saying go the Stars. Why wouldn't they? Already had a good win today. It's always nice to know where people are tuning in. So it's roosted downfield and taken really sweetly over there by Constable. This will be the last play of the half, and in the end she's tagged over there, and it is the last play of the half. It's half time, and we've seen a really good 25 minutes of football out there. Both sides have used the ball well. Both sides have had chances and taken them, and there's only one really sensational sideline conversion from Holly Buchanan that separates them at the break. It's the Central Coast Roosters looking for that third premiership in a row. They're 25 minutes closer to winning it, but have plenty more to do. It's the Roosters 12, the Greater Southern Region Stars 10. We'll be back in a few minutes for the second half on Bar TV. Welcome back to Wyong. We await the arrival of the reigning champions of this competition, the Central Coast Roosters. The Greater Southern Region Stars are already out on the field, and they've got the work to do. They're 2 points behind after quite a good first half, you'd have to say, in this Country Rugby League League Tag Final. Morgan Campbell with you for Bar TV. And really, when you look at the sky and you look at the field, where in the world would you rather be than Morrie Breen Oval right this morning? Central Coast Roosters making their way back out on one of their home grounds. They had tries in the first half from Jocelyn Kelleher, who got the first one, and Stephanie Sharp, who scored a really good individual try, grubbering for herself close to the line. For the Greater Southern Region, we saw tries to Piper Favell, who got the second one, and Alana Glasson, who scored another one off a kick a few moments earlier. And that's where the 12 and the 10 come from. It's been a really, really good contest here. 25 minutes left to settle it. And the Central Coast Roosters putting the ball on the tee. Here we go. Will it be 3 in a row? Or will we have a new champion in this league tag competition? We will know in about 25 minutes' time. This is Brittany Constable bringing it forward. The Stars showed plenty with the ball in the first half. They had plenty of enterprise. And that's why they managed to score 2 tries. They go back to the centre now. Up the middle, I think that's Murty with the ball. Gets close to the 40. Arcing ball over there to Atfield, who kicked really well in the first half. And she's kicked well again there, got good depth on that. Buchanan goes back to field it. And Buchanan charges back at them. It was an awkward looking run. Stars dealt with it fairly well in the end. That's good hand in the 9. And they'll come up the centre. They're running hard here with Kelleher. Full of running in this second half already, the Roosters. That was Higgins who got the ball there. I think she's new on the field. Now it's inside there to Clark. And this is last. And the Stars so eager to get off the line. Demesh puts it into the sky. Difficult kick, taken really well over there by Finn, who's looked likely a couple of times and hasn't quite cracked them. But it's noticeably quick-paced, this game. Both sides really flying at each other and trying lots of things. You really wouldn't be able to split them at this stage. On they come. Atfield through it. They're going to spread it wide. There's a chance over there for Smith, but they handled it quite well in the end. And now the ball will come back to the middle, and it's not Atfield who kicks this time. That might be considered a charge down. It is. It's 6 to go as Glasson falls on the ball. And they've got a chance here to make some territory. Finn with the ball. And some contact there, which is not allowed. It's Atkins, I think it was, who made it. Referee suggesting she was at fault. It's how Atfield will roost this into the crowd, such as it is. And the Stars can start again, 35 metres from the try line. Wouldn't it be a boost to get the first one? Mate, the Roosters, who have got a long time since losing a grand final, maybe make them panic a little bit. Here they go to the middle with Constable. Pollard's at dummy half. Atfield. Finn. Still Finn. Taken at the last moment. Atfield's there again. Ryan. And that was Tout. Open it up. They've got a couple of tackles in hand here. This is Ryan. She's going to put it into the sky. Difficult looking kick taken really well by Mortel. And now she's going to counter attack. She's taken about an inch out from the line. And the Roosters didn't concede a try there, but they're rather stuck on their own line. As Clark goes back to play the ball. The Stars need to keep the pressure on here, but they've let Demesh stroll through, and it's one-on-one now, Demesh. She's away from the fullback. She's into open space. There's a chase. There's an absolute subcommittee of Stars players coming to get her, and eventually they get around her. Demesh was looking for someone to pass to. Now it's kept alive. This is really good hands out here. It's Atkins down the right. She's got Mortel. She's taken 20 out and will have to go back. Snap, snap, snap. The passes went out right. Mortel at dummy half. Now good hand. And a penalty. The arm came around there from Constable. Big moment here for the Roosters. In the 5th minute of the second half. Good hand goes again. Finds herself on the deck. Higgins. And the 13 is Kelleher. She's already got one today. She won't get one there. The 6 there is Sharp, who's already got one as well. She's hurt herself there. I think it might have been a collision of knees, a bit of a tangle of legs. Kelleher. Good hand. Clark. That's another big shot. And now Tia Good Hand's taken, and that's last tackle. Clark deputises at dummy half. Good Hand gets the ball, puts it on the toe. It's going to be caught in the in-goal acrobatically by Glasson in the end. And so this time it's the Stars who escape a bit of pressure. Nobody quite able to land a blow early on in this second half. 12-10 it remains. And so Pollard brings it away. And Smith, they've got 7 tackles to use here. That's Murty. Right they go. That's a good pass. It's going to be called back. Oh, they thought they were away there for a second with Carly Ryan. She thought she was off. You do see a bit of this in league tag. They have to come back and play the ball. Awkward pass. And in the end, Atfield did well not to try and pick it up when it was swizzling around awkwardly there. Now Atfield goes down the short side. She's been tagged before she kicked that. And that's last tackle. This will be a turnover. Or is this last, in fact? She'll get to play the ball. She'll get to play it. So she was trying to kick early and was foiled, but now it's last. They're going to spread it. And this is good play. And now there's a chance out here for Smith. Smith strolls through. Bit of pace from Brooke Smith. And she's finally taken over there in fairly dramatic circumstances because she was away if she wasn't taken straight away. It is a bit of a game of survival at the moment for both sides. As here's Smith. Oh, Sharp, in fact. Bang on halfway. Got a great view up here in the press box at this Maury Breen Oval. Especially when play's right in front of us like it is now. Clark finds a runner in good hand. In fact, it's Higgins and she's scything through. This is being played at good pace. Clark. Wrap around to Clark again. Good ball out there. Good tag as well. It was Atkins who was taken. They'll open back to the left. Good hand. Found Clark. Who found Langbridge, and this is last. Buchanan with a dinked kick in behind. It's picked up really well over there. Would have been very easy to fumble that. It was Janae Collins. You've got to be fit to play this league tag. The ball, as you'd have noted, it's been quite a while since it was out of play. So the sides are just running back and forwards up the field. Both teams making line breaks and threatening the line. That's a good pass and a really good tag from Stephanie Sharp. Back they go. It's a wobbly kick. It's going to be awkward. It's over the head. And now there's a chase. Mortel has to go a long way back. Can't beat the tackle and nearly got trousered. Atkins with a Harbour Bridge. Buchanan. Still Buchanan. They'll come left. And that's good hand. Working back towards the middle. Langbridge now. 16 minutes left in the grand final. And we're not much clearer on who's going to win it. This could be caught here. There was no touch. It's taken by Glasson in the end. And this time the Stars can come at them. Neither side willing to give anything here. Open side. Atfield. That ball was flat to weight. Now they're going to have a snipe on that right-hand side. But Murty's taken. And this will be last tackle. Atfield's the main kicker. They got her. They got her on last tackle. And that's a real territorial gain for the Roosters. A little effort that makes a big difference there. And as Kelleher plays it, they're well set up. That's Erin Kessler in 15. 15 minutes left. Dimesh over the top. She'll have to go back. Kessler again. Now Langbridge. Cut-out ball's a really good one to Russell. Could this be the moment? Russell. Still Russell for the Roosters. And she's taken over there in the nick of time. Dimesh. Kessler. That seems like fair play. It is. It's play on. Referee said there was nothing wrong with the way she was challenged. It's just back and forth at the moment. Will it be a mistake or will it be a bit of magic to make the big difference in this game? They work towards the centre. Arcing ball back over to Atfield. They've got numbers this way if they want to use them. They don't. But they might work this short side again here. It's Murty who goes herself. Finds a good pass there to Finn. Finn's got plenty of pace. She's striding out now. Finn finds Murty. Murty's taken. And this is last. And Finn wrong foots the marker and sends it into the sky. Bounce of the ball important here. Bounce of the ball is awkward. Running away from them. Mortel has to get there. Mortel does get there, but she won't get out. She won't get out of the in goal. What a good bit of play that was by Tyler Finn. Making the burst upfield, getting into dummy half off the next ruck, and putting in a kick that has won them another set of 6. And time is ebbing away. They're 2 behind with 13 to go. Looking to break a streak. Smith and Collins and Tout and still Tout. They won't get a better chance to get the lead back. Or to get the lead. Here's a chance here for Murty. She's there, Murty. She's got to go back. Priest. Wait. Oh, she's collided with her own player there. It was very awkward for Constable. And right there to Grogan. Grogan goes herself. She's tagged. Couple of plays left. Wait. Constable. Finn. Last tackle. Feels like a big moment this. Priest. Over the top. Tout. Still Tout. Got away from a couple. Still twisting. Tackled. Or tagged. On that far side. The Stars put down the challenge. The Roosters equal to it. And through they go. Here's a big chance. Back on the inside. Contact there from Kelleher. Penalty which way? Stars way. Kelleher not happy. But she bumped into one of the defenders. And when 2 players run into each other like that, the referee's got to decide who's at fault. That's a good ball. Glasson looked for a second like she might burst through. Priest. Still Priest. Pirouetting as she got to the line. Penalty the other way. Well, neither side wants the ball just at the moment. Apparently you're not allowed to spin around like that. So it's the Roosters who get it back. Having conceded a penalty and conceded the field position, they have it back now with Sharps rolling forward. This is Demesh. Plenty of tackles in hand here as they go right. That would be Kelleher again. She's already got one today, Kelleher. Couldn't quite go the rest of the way. Higgins. Kelleher's got to go off after that run as they go across here. Buchanan getting it back, Buchanan. Plenty of art about that little wraparound move. Demesh. This will pitch. Which way will it bounce? It'll bounce towards the dead ball line. So the Stars will get it back on the 20 with an extra tackle. 10.5 minutes left. Good grand final, this. Pressure on both sets of players. Pressure on the referee. Pressure on the touch judge. Who's going to decide it? That was Murty. The 18 is Tout, and she's made a really good run at a dummy half. And she's going to be penalised there. So there was a block runner in the way there. Blocking a tag. Yeah, okay. We've got erstwhile Newcastle Rugby League referee John Taylor up here in the box watching proceedings, and he's just providing a bit of advice on the finer details of the referee's decisions. It's always helpful. So Tia Goodhand's going to take a tap here. It's a big decision, that one. Puts the Roosters right on the attack. Goodhand. The other one, Brooke Goodhand. Now Higgins. And now Demesh. And Demesh still going. She's going to have to go back. Let us know where you're watching if you're tuning in somewhere around the place, around country New South Wales. Now here's a chance. This could be the moment for Atkins. It's dramatic. It's really dramatic. And in the end, it's a Stars ball. Well, haven't these two sides had some chances? Both of them have had moments of attack. They've both been close to the line. They've both been denied now. Tout wanted to go for a stroll. 8.5 minutes left. Glasson. She'll be tagged. They haven't made too much ground here, the Stars, from the Greater Southern region. This is roosted downfield by Atfield and taken really well by Mortel. Isn't it a high standard, this game? Look at Mortel go. Rebecca Mortel for the Roosters. Rachel Mortel, sorry. Now they go left and there's a knock on. There's a knock on there for Goodhand. And here's Tout. And another opportunity for Greater Southern Region. I mean, the Roosters won't mind this. Both sides, there's a penalty. Who initiated that one? The Roosters did. 6 more tackles to the Stars. Kiama, the Oaks, Jamboree, Camden, Albion Park, Campbelltown, Woonona and Thirroul, all represented in this Greater Southern Region side. And they've got a chance here. Still going is the 10. Samantha Groth, who's got a couple of tries in this competition. There's interference at mark, and the penalty will go to the Roosters. Go to the Stars. They might take the penalty goal here. They'll point to the posts and try and level this up. And the pressure will be on Taylor Atfield here. She'll have had harder kicks in her life, but probably none with more pressure. The tee is coming out with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left and a 12-10 scoreline. If this sails over, it'll be a shootout. Here is Atfield. Talia Atfield hits it. Flags up. Flags up. 12-12. 6 minutes to decide it. And the Stars, who have had their moments in this game, have found their way to get back level. After 20 scoreless minutes in the second half, they've never been in front in this game. They were 6-0 behind. They were 6-all. They were 12-6 behind. They were 12-10 behind. They're back level again. They've never had the lead. But they're one scoring play away from the trophy. And the Roosters are one scoring play away from 3 in a row. Here's the kickoff. How adventurous are they willing to be? Is someone willing to take a risk to try and get something for themselves here? Is Taylor Atfield down the short side, held a nerve well to take that kick. Finn. Atfield again. Pollard will play it. Atfield will swing it. Now Glasson. Last tackle inside the 40. They'll need a big boot here. They want the field position. Atfield sends it long. It's not a bad one, especially if it gets a good bounce. Oh, it does. It favours them. Back goes Mortel, who's had a good game. Still Mortel. Returned the ball strongly. Good hand. And Russell, and still Russell, down the wing. Ashley Russell for the Roosters. Still going, Ashley Russell. Oh, it could have been a great grand final try. It's a great grand final tag in the end. Langbridge. All the momentum with the Roosters just at this second. And that's Clark. Still 2 tackles at least. Buchanan. Good hand. Ball hit the deck, play on. It's all fair. Kessler. Still Kessler. Sharp. Good ball. This might be it. She's tagged at the last second. It's not a try. Kelleher. Now the kick through legs. Someone's got to get there. Can they get out or will they be stuck? I think they'll be stuck. Glasson did well to pick it up under pressure, but she faced a red, white and blue wall there when she looked up to get away. And as a bit of a chill comes over this ground, a bit of nerves comes over the crowd. Three minutes left. I wonder if someone would have a crack at a field goal here. As this kick goes down, Sharp takes it, and the Roosters will never get a better chance to score a match-winning try. 16 is Langbridge. Symington out the back. Clark and Buchanan, and that tag had to be reefed away at the last. Langbridge taking this run. Symington a dummy half. They go out the back. They might try the field goal here. They have. It's there. Oh, what a wonderful kick. What a bit of play. The kick is there. The Roosters lead. And unless I'm mistaken, it's Jocelyn Kelleher. I am mistaken. It's Tiana Langbridge in the 16. Or is it Kelleher? It might be Jocelyn Kelleher who's put it over. But that was a beautiful kick. They worked it well, threw it out the back, and now there's a short kickoff. That's going to be fumbled. Oh, they've got it back. They've got it back. The Stars have it with 2 minutes to go. A point behind. Will they try for the field goal or will they try for the score? Here's Finn. They'll have a couple of cracks at them, you'd think, before they think about the posts. Good run. Good chance. Smith, evasive runner. Is there a hero out there for the Stars? It might be Smith. She goes around them. She's taken down. Plenty of tackles in hand. 10 is Groth. Still Groth. Someone's deep. Atfield's out the back. I think she wants the shot. They're going to go up the middle. They're going to go at themselves. Tout, not far away. Atfield screaming for the ball. It's going to be a field goal. Atfield, can she kick it? Under pressure, charge down. 6 to go. And Finn, a minute left. Thrilling final at Wyong. Back inside they come. That wasn't a tag on Constable. She's not far away. Atfield wants it again. She's flat though this time. Atfield, not looking for the posts. Groth, drop the ball. And the Roosters come away. There's an inquiry at the referee. The Roosters will have to come back, but they've got the ball with 30 seconds left. They're going to win the grand final, the Roosters. Unless something bizarre happens from here. 15 seconds left. This is going to be 3 in a row. With a grand final winning field goal. They set up for it. And with the pressure on, they found the kick to win the game. And as nearly as I can tell, it was Jocelyn Kelleher. And the Roosters are the winners again. The Central Coast. 3 years in a row. A tremendous grand final. Absolutely tremendous. And the Stars, well, as disappointed as they'll be, they gave the lot. They gave the lot against a very good team and gave them a lot of trouble. And with 3 minutes to go, it was anybody's. And the Roosters found the winning play. 13 points to 12. The Central Coast Roosters winners of the Women's Open League Tag Grand Final. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Greater Southern Region Stars who've had a great year in this format because they won the Under-16’s title and they were a whisker away from winning the Opens as well. It's been a good day here at Morrie Breen Oval. Some very good football. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you. Morgan Campbell signing off for Bar TV with the Central Coast winners, the Central Coast Roosters winners of the Opens League Tag for 2019 and the Greater Southern Region Stars winners of the Under-16’s League Tag for 2019. Morgan Campbell signing off for the CRL.
stop all that background static on that.
Players, we do have a little bit of a problem with the microphone, so
Yeah, no worries.
just
All right. Righto.
But on behalf of
There we
the
go.
Rugby League, big thank you to all the regions that participated. Big congratulations to Central Coast Roosters making the final, winning the championships, and also to I think the performances have made it you are worthy grand finalists. Unfortunately, as say Rugby League, there is always a winner and a loser. But I'd like to say congratulations on the championship. I'm sure I'd just also like to say congratulations to Central Coast Roosters. You are their main premiers, so I think they came to that I call on the match officials, Travis Malone, Deacon Cameron and Nathan Evelyn to come forward and receive the medal for the chairman of the Rugby League, Mr. Jock Foley OAS. Thanks, John. What we will move straight on to now, and I'll ask the captain of the Central Coast Roosters to come forward. I think it's to get the John Anderson
Face this way. Polly, you can stop. Good hand. Sarah, give me this. Kelsey Clark. Rachel Waterhouse. Claudia Symington. Jocelyn Callahan. Tia Goodhand. Shannon Hagan. Grace Dobby. Ashley Russell. And Erin Kessler. Anna Kessler. Who, I don't know where she is. Anna Kessler. Brooke Peachy. Brooke Peachy. Quinton. Quinto. Our famous coach, Dan Rogers. And our captain, Stephanie Sharp. Is she here?
There will be plenty of opportunity for photos, and we will ask both teams to get together a little bit later on. But the player of the match, I believe there were probably 3 or 4, but I think the player of the match was outstanding. That goes to Central Coast Roosters Rugby League. We will invite the media just to get the photos before, and then after we get the championship photos, we'll get those together. But on behalf of the Rugby League, a big thank you to all the supporters and followers, the parents, everyone. everyone involved in the tournament. It was very successful from the Country Rugby League's point of view. We look forward to 2000. Well done, congratulations.
I think that